The ceremonies, celebrations, and traditions of Estolia are part of our rich heritage as the longest-lived nation on the planet. It is, perhaps, human nature to strive to be the best at something. As with anything truly worthwhile, inner satisfaction matters more than accolades from others. Records and achievements are the garish accessories lauded during any athletic contest. In Estolia, the substance that comes with our longevity is far more critical to our happiness than any transitory notoriety. Jeremiah Inscrito.
Laia was meeting with several of the women in her suite. They were discussing the role of women in Estolia. The following day, a special ceremony for Nico and Kenzie was planned in the Estolian language. Max had again volunteered his services as a translator. She had begun to take language lessons and was hoping that she would be able to understand at least a little of what was being said. A tap on the door preceded its opening.
Good evening, ladies.
Zeke said, entering the room.
I wanted to take a few minutes of Laia's time, if that is possible.
Their study hour was almost over, so the other women stood and rapidly left until she was alone with the religious leader. Zeke sat across from her.
How are you doing, Laia?
A smile of happiness was her first response to the question.
I am happier in Estolia than I have ever been in my life,
she said truthfully. The only cloud on her horizon was the way she cared for Max more each day, yet he seemed to become increasingly distant from her. He smiled at that.
I am very glad to hear it.
He was quiet for some time before he took a deep breath and continued.
Tomorrow, I yield up my position as leader of the Estolian faith to Nico. It is the most critical ceremony in our religion, and only happens once every 30 years. I have realized that you can, if you are willing, have an important role in the events of the day.
What role?
She asked.
The keeper of the soul of Estolia is the leader of our faith. As we are a type of theocracy, the keeper is the ultimate authority in Estolia. It is a position of grave responsibility. As king, Leon is the one to whom the pomp and circumstance are attached, but Nico will be the true leader. This is why his confirmation to the role of keeper is so important.
Everything Laia learned about Estolia fascinated her. She was not sure, however, how this related to her. Zeke explained,
Once the keeper and his Kaylee are confirmed to their positions, it is traditional to have him give a blessing. This is often overlooked in our history, but I know how critical it is. It is only once Nico acts in his new capacity that he will understand the power of his position. As I meditated on the ceremony, I realized that giving you a blessing will be perfect for him. Through it, you will both receive guidance. For you, once you receive an English translation, you will have the words of the blessing to guide you. Nico will not realize exactly how important this action is for his development until he is actively giving you the blessing.
I would be pleased to receive a blessing.
Zeke made it sound like, by allowing Nico to bless her, she would be doing him a favor.
Excellent, my dear. The blessing will be in the morning, and we will have a special celebration in the evening. While not unheard of, it is also not common to ask guests to receive a blessing.
Kenzie and Nico looked amazing. He wore the flamboyant robes typically donned by Zeke, standing next to Kenzie, who was dressed in a striking red robe. The words spoken during the service to transfer the soul of Estolia to Nico mostly escaped Laia's limited understanding of Estolian vocabulary, yet the emotion and sanctity of the ceremony were unmistakable. She cried when Kenzie cried. Somehow, the trials that had plagued Kenzie upon her arrival in Estolia had given her a strength greater than she might have otherwise possessed. Before the ceremony began, Nico told her he would call her to the dais and have her sit on a low stool. He and Zeke would place their hands on her head and offer her a blessing in the Estolian language.